Hey y'all, welcome back to our altar. I'm Mars Frequency.
I'm Mariah the Soul.
And you're watching
From Soul
to Mars. I think in my body. You know, like I just turned 32. Mariah just turned 27.
You know,
okay.
We took a little break because we had to celebrate our birthdays. We needed some.
Big Scorp Sag. Big
Yes,
Scorp
there we
Sag.
go.
This year has been really hard for us, and like just a lot of stuff coming at the same time and a lot of stuff going at the same time. But I feel like I'm getting to the other side of it now.
It's crazy because I was talking to my friend about this. I feel like everyone's going through their own little apocalypse before the end of the year here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Everyone I know is going through some type of full circle change or like losing something to gain something.
It's like what goes up must come down. What, you know what I'm saying? So like we're all working in that right now. And I'm just kind of just letting it be.
As you should.
How about you?
Still jump scares. We're still, you know.
Boom!
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm still a little terrified, but
Let me get the...
there we go. From the first one. All right.
We're drinking Welch's pomegranate passion fruit
With tequila.
with tequila.
Like we're still in Puerto Rico.
Straight in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. But I'm honestly taking everything day by day. I think that's going on. And I'm doing really good at that. Like I'm okay with the fact that I know I'll feel one way today and then feel differently tomorrow.
Right.
Or like I'm letting myself go through the motions because I feel like for a while, all my life, I've kind of been someone that's just like, all right, get over it, next thing, get over it, next thing, get over it. And right now I'm just like, no, deal with what's happening in your life right now. Take it in, see what you can learn from it.
Shadow work.
Yeah, that's a great, basically this is very on brand episode.
I feel like you are doing so well.
Yeah,
weirdly good. You
But
know what I mean?
it's different because I've never put effort to trying to feel better. Like I was always someone that when I was going through certain things, I kind of like would sit in it and why me? And I do feel like I deserve that grace in this with things I'm dealing with. Lately, I've just been taking it day by day. I'm really grateful for people that I have around me. Honestly, that's my thing. Like I've been trying to spend more time with my friends and with my family and just like I said in that last episode, being the best person I could be to people and to myself. I started therapy, y'all. I went to the spa last night right after therapy.
Okay, let's talk about that. So, just a few weeks ago, Mariah was like, oh, I want to go to the spa, this and that, let's plan it. I'm like, okay, great, let's plan it. She didn't say anything to me about it since. Then next thing you know, I'm watching her story, and I see the spa. And then I look at my fake clock right here, and I see that you post that at nighttime.
Yeah.
Did you go with anybody?
No, I went alone. It was gifted to me as a birthday present.
Oh, so I'm just hating.
Yeah.
Let's turn in our tarot cards.
I'm sorry, I have paper straws. I'm so...
That's okay. Major key with the paper straw, put it on top, take a sip and put it back.
Yeah,
take a sip and put it back.
No, limp dick fucking paper straw. Like...
Limpy night. You know, okay, no.
You said no, I should have done that.
Well, then I'm throwing in my tarot card because I've been an ultimate hater this week. I was
Oh, weekend.
Yes, I'm a hater. I was hating on her. She went to bathhouse without me.
We'll go next time together. We'll film it.
You see how she's gaslighting me right now, you guys?
We'll film it. We'll go to the restaurant.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do
I didn't go to
it.
the restaurant. They have ice cream for $5 and I almost,
Turn your tarot card in this week?
Yes. I want to turn my tarot card in because, and I don't even, whatever, I guess, but.
Just say it, just let it out.
I have been battling a lot, I've been battling a lot with being really honest and raw, even with the viewers here.
Ooh.
And someone who's promoting such a real ass podcast or an honest ass podcast,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I shouldn't be having those doubts and I should be telling them everything, you know what I'm saying, and put it all out there.
Okay.
But I think I'm getting more to a place where I'm ready to talk about certain things, but it's just I kind of had to remember the platform I'm trying to build here and understand that platform, if I want it to be an honest, open space, and we're leading this platform, we have to be honest and open.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be more clarity going forward.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
What?
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Like I said the last episode, you guys, my girl will talk about what she wants to talk about, when she wants to talk about, and how she wants to talk. My friend's gonna do it.
I definitely, there's just certain things I want to go about the proper. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be informative and exactly what I want to say, because I don't know if it's something I'm going to want to keep speaking on. You know what I'm saying? So when I put it out there, I want it put out there perfectly. And that's what not perfectly, but as perfect as I can get it to be. And just so that way I walk away like, okay, I said everything I needed to be said.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
That's fair.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of like self-blaming. So I don't know if that's really like a tarot card thing, but I just feel like I've been kind of like.
That is donating a tarot card.
Yeah.
Because what are you self-blaming for?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah.
To be continued. We are being real with you guys. There's just certain things that need to take a little bit of time before we can share those things.
Exactly.
And just know we support you. The people support you. The group chat supports you. The Coven supports you. We're all here. And I think that when you are ready, it'll be something very powerful. In a way, you guys, this podcast is shadow work. This podcast is us being therapeutic and letting things out and not being perfect.
And y'all love it or you don't, but I hope you love it. But it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, it's as
like,
honest as
follow,
we
subscribe.
Yes, YouTube from Soul to Mars.
Join this journey with us because it really is a joint journey, you guys. We're all here together. You know, we're at the beginning stages now, and we just want to bring you guys with us to success. So we're hoping to get there. So like, share, subscribe, and share our shit. Share. No, do that. Share.
It's free. It's free
It's free.
support.
During her birthday, she had a few people in here and they brought up the podcast, and that just made me feel so good and so grateful and so happy.
I guess we could reflect on birthdays a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy with the group I had. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was, and I made sure, and it was intentional, that I had people that know certain things that have been going on in my life, so that way if I was a little off, I would have, but the fact that everyone was aware made me not off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made me like, this is
you were able
love.
to be yourself without
And just,
explaining
people
anything.
being here like, I'm so happy you're here. And I genuinely, like, when I went around and I was hugging everyone, I was like, oh my God, I just love all these people.
By the way, I'm gonna insert a picture right here. Bitch look get. My girl was on point, okay? Let me be real. There's a trio here. It's me, Mariah, and our other friend, Diamond.
She might be coming later
She
for
might
some girls.
pop out.
Yeah.
For girls' time.
Yeah.
On live. But we look like a troop, okay? We came, we understood, and we conquered. Here's the thing with you bitches out here.
So let me tell
When
you.
it's somebody's birthday, it's your homegirl's birthday, you don't outshine your homegirl. No matter how fly you are, no matter how pretty you are, it's her day. So we understood the assignment. We all look good, okay? But she was Beyonce.
We each get our Beyonce day.
We all get our Beyonce day, but it was her Beyonce day. And when it's my Beyonce day, it's my Beyonce day. It was her Beyonce day. We look good, but we did not outshine. And that's what you're supposed to do as a real friend. It's not like get your confidence up, this and that, this and that. Bitch only has one birthday. Friends only have one birthday. You saw about that girl on TikTok?
Which one?
It was like a girl on TikTok, and her friend, she had on like a regular little dress, and her friend had on a whole see-through bust down. She looked good.
Did she text her about it? Was that the one she said something to her about?
Yeah, she was like, I feel like you outshined me on my birthday. First of all, that's not weird to say. That's a friend to a friend. Like, I would say that to her. Like, that's a friend to a friend.
Yeah, be honest. Because initially, me and Diamond's outfits looked very similar. We were going to do the all black thing. Mm-hmm. And when you said that, when you were like, don't wear all black because I'm wearing it. And I told her, I said, even Mars said I shouldn't wear all black because y'all both are going to be wearing it. So then
and it's your birthday. You got to pop out, you know?
So
but y'all not friends like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what we was talking about in that first episode. Like, you guys aren't real friends to your friends. Mm-hmm. It's like, why are you trying to outshine your friend on her birthday?
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, why is it a competition on your friend's birthday? It's no comp. I knew that I was going to wear all black. Look good, but I'm going to wear all black. Because the birthday girl is supposed to pop out. She's supposed to shine. Yeah. She's supposed to wear, you know what I mean?
And all my best pictures, I just want to say Mars took them. And that's how you know your friend loves you. When they take good, because I've had some.
Let me tell you how I got down here, bitch. I was getting everywhere. Okay? And like, you can't put yourself aside for one day to make sure your friend feels special.
Even though my friend went to Montreal for her birthday, but we're not going to talk about that.
And that was my day. And that's what I needed.
I went to the spot, bitch left the country, and she want to talk about, because I went to a little old bathhouse.
It's not about me. It's not. You know what? Let's move on.
And now we move on, right? Now we get off the topic.
Happening on this prison planet.
Too much.
We're not going to explain it to you guys because we explained it to you last episode. Go back and watch it if you haven't.
Study. We're going to jump into the
I'm going to go straight to Diddy and Cassie.
Good, because listen, I took some notes on this one, alright? I got a lot to say about this one, but go ahead, I'm going to let you lead that.
He did that shit.
Yeah.
Everything. If he settled with her in less than 24 hours.
Ooh, but I did some research.
Spill the beans.
Okay.
Spill the beans.
So, this is why it was settled so quick. From what I've seen, and listen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did my research and it makes sense. She sued him as an employee to a corporation. So, okay, so it's very similar to when, if you get into a car accident and you have car insurance. Her lawyer was smart. I think it was a double lawsuit, but she definitely sued Bad Boy Entertainment, and he was her employer, she was the employee. That's how she did it. So there's no choice but to settle. Do you think you can separate the artist from the scandal?
Oh man, I was just talking about this with somebody.
Because deleting Diddy's catalog is crazy. You know how many songs you're gonna have to get rid of? But okay, so here's my thing with Diddy, and this is upon my reason. I've been known certain things about Diddy, and it's just always been out there. I don't feel like with him you could do that because I feel like we know this because of how he's treated his artists.
Right.
He's very shitty to his artists. Like that's just a known thing. So it's like I don't think with him you could separate it the way
you can't separate it because he's so dang. You know what? This is what I think is gonna happen, you guys. You know, I'm gonna put this like again. He's gonna be a complete family man now. Even though he did it, he's gonna keep promoting that he's a family man and all these things.
Or he found God.
So that we can stop talking about it, or so that we can think about the kids. You know what I mean? He's gonna push it on the kids.
But that's a whole scandalous thing going on with that in itself, because those kids ain't his. Like you know that, right?
So do we think he's like a sexual deviant? Like you think he's
he's like an addict. I think he's an addict that just like I don't know. I feel like people that like have so much power then they start just looking for just anything. They literally go into their wildest thoughts, and they're like, "I can do this." Because then there's the Kid Cudi card thing.
Oh
like,
my
he was crazy.
gosh!
Like he could literally kill someone and get away with it. And let's not get into the rumors of the people that he's had to do with their deaths. Like that's a whole other. So I think it's more than just a lifestyle that the girl.
This is all speculation.
Yeah,
speculation.
conspiracy.
Allegedly. He did blow up some. We heard allegedly that he blew up some cars. Allegedly that he did some movie shit and put some.
He said, "Oh, He said, "Bet
over the balcony."
That's crazy.
All right, y'all. We hopping right into the real quick and easy. And today we're focusing on shadow work. What is shadow work?
Shadow work, it's finding the root of things. It's like, okay, I understand I'm this way as an adult now, but what led to this? And it makes you more aware of like how you act because of things you've been through, and it makes you kind of take responsibility for like how you're acting based on those experiences. That's what I take it as.
I take it as that too. Yeah. It's also like healing your inner child, that inner teenager. So like, for example, the way that you react to people, the way that you take in information, the things that you've gone through, as in what you've dealt with in relationships or how you see relationships and things like that. And as the adult, we're adults now, it's then taken away the victim mentality and accepting who you are, accepting what you've gone through, and now what's next? Are we going to prevail, or are we going to stay within that mindset?
And I think it takes away that whole aspect of things where you do things because things were done to you.
Yeah.
When you do shadow work, it's more like, okay, these things were done to me. I see how they affect me. How can I not be this way so I don't affect my kids this way, or my friends this way, or my lover this way? Like, it's more of a, you have to take accountability.
And the thing is, what I've noticed with people, like, people don't like to take accountability for the shit that they do.
Yeah, but everyone wants to be a witch, and everyone wants to do spiritual, but they don't want to do the work. Because that's
a part of it.
I've told, like, so many friends come to me about, like, oh, they want to learn this, and they want to learn about ancestors, they want to do all this shit, and it's like, but have you done the work to even understand who you are? the person you are and what kind of work you need to put into yourself.
It's honestly the choice to be better.
When did you first like hear about shadow? Like, what made you?
The first time I put a meaning, like hearing about shadow work,
or that you felt you needed. When was your first experience doing it? If you feel comfortable sharing.
Honestly, I would say I was working at this place called the Assemblage, so it had to be a little bit, maybe 4 years ago. Nope, before the pandemic. Right before the pandemic, I was working at a holistic wellness co-working space, and I was drinking all the Kool-Aid, you guys. So like that really like made me feel like there was a community there. Not that this was the right community, but there's a community around spirituality. I found myself dealing with what I've dealt with growing up, and also like I felt like I was harping on the fact that I was a victim in certain things, and that became my personality.
I get that.
You know, my personality wasn't who I was. My personality was what I've been through. And so, you know, I just didn't want to be seen like that anymore. We're doing Jello shots. Jello.
Fair warning, so you guys can be witnesses, because I don't know how tonight's gonna end up. This is vodka. We've been drinking tequila, okay?
Let's do it!
Let's go for it.
You know, I turned like 27, 28, and I was like, it's time to deal with myself. Because I have so much more to bring to the table than what I went through at whatever age.
And at the end of the day, that's who you gotta sit with. Beyond when you're, and I think that was, I mean, if you're, I feel like we have similar life paths. And right now, this is my age of being alone and knowing what is, and sitting with myself.
Yeah.
And 20, because it's crazy, you said 27, I just turned 27. And
I was literally, I feel like that age.
Yeah, it was, that was that age where you were like, all right, I've dealt with other people. I've seen how other people affect me now. How do I affect myself? Or how does my interactions with other people or the way you respond to things, I think, like, affect, because you gotta sit with that at the end of the day.
And my thing was, it was just like, I didn't want to be a people pleaser anymore. You know, I had a cycle of the same kind of relationship, of being like, getting everything. And when I say everything, you guys, like, it's embarrassing to the amount of things that I offered for someone to love me. And then you get to the point where, like, you're just like, I'm not being loved. This does not feel good to me. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of.
There's no reciprocation. There's
no reciprocation there. And that started my shadow work journey. I did not want to be in the same situations over and over again. I had to really look at myself and be like, well, you know what I mean?
To this.
There's a root. Yeah. And I needed to find out the root to become who I am. Because there was no way I was walking into fucking 30. You know what I'm saying? Still being a dumbass, you know, a silly bitch. And like, I was silly. The thing, and we'll go into that when we talk about, you know, past relationships and things like that, but I was silly.
Yeah.
And I would never encourage people to do and deal with the things that I've dealt with. And I also didn't want anyone to be like, oh, she's like this because of this.
Yeah, it was more like,
it was weaponized against me. Like, what I've told people about myself and, like, things like that, it was weaponized against me.
I'm so sorry.
And because it was weaponized, it made me really look at deep and just be like, I will never allow someone to have the power over me like this. I would never allow someone to speak to me this way, or...
Because because I think you learned what made you allow that in the first place. So now you're like, now that I've gotten to that, fuck that. I'm not allowing that anymore. My shadow work started where, like, wow, that's crazy. Cause it's very similar to what you're saying, where I feel like everything was happening bad to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can't control what other people are doing, but I can control how I handle those things and how I react to those things. So when I started shadow work, the first time I ever really remember doing it was probably like 23.
Okay.
Where I journaled like things that I had gone through and my, like, how they affected me.
We are so alive.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You were 23. Okay, how old am I compared to 27, 28, 29, 30?
Same time. It was on the same time. Yeah.
We were literally going like this and had no clue.
I was just like, okay, I could sit here and cry all day about what people have done to me. Or I could sit here and think about why I'm letting it affect me so much. Mm-hmm. Because I had to sit back and like, okay, what did that person go through that made them... Mm-hmm. And then I had to think, okay, but what did I go through that made that okay?
Right.
And so when I did shadow work, I started learning that I was extremely codependent.
Yeah.
And that codependency made me loyal to a fault. where I forgive people and I forgive people and forgive people, and it's just like, no, because I need this person or I get something from this person.
Right.
And I realized like I had a lot of abandonment issues, things about myself. I speak very rough. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like,
I think it's a New York girl thing.
Yeah, but that's not okay either, because you can scare really good people off with that shit. And like, just in terms of my language, when I did shadow work, I started to understand like how much your words really, because I would use terms like, and I'm sorry, I took notes on this because
Spill it.
But I would use like, you're annoying. Or I hate you, but I'm not saying that but when those are really negative words.
Yeah.
And it's because I grew up more so where like, oh, someone could say that about you, but they still love you. Or that's like, and then I saw that transpire in my friendships and relationships where I was like, I was speaking to someone and I came across friends that were like, oh, I annoy you. And I'm like, no, that's me saying like, you're funny. Yeah. But to someone that didn't grow up in that toxic. Right. To them, that's really rude to say to somebody. Like,
it's like, I would like, moving to New York, it took me a long time to understand
the roughness
to New York, where women are so like independent and women are so like outspoken and things like that. It's very
it's a
like
culture shock.
It's like, whoa, like, are we friends or we not friends? Like, I feel like shadow work is tapping back into who you were before you gave a fuck about what people thought about you, about how society sees you.
It's learning where to place blame. That's what.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain it, but it was just like, I grew up, I was very sensitive as a kid. Like, I was super like, anything anyone said to me, I took to heart. Mm-hmm. And then when I got older, I became more of like not a bully, but more of like the aggressor. Mm-hmm. Where it was more like, okay, the things that were said to me. You're not gonna get
me, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, and also just like, that's love. Like, that's what it, okay, and it was crazy because I was in therapy.
But it's not.
No, yeah. But I was my first session in therapy, which was crazy because I hadn't been in therapy in years. But she asked me about my, what was my type of punishments as a kid. That's what she spoke to me. So when I'm describing it to her, I'm like,
you listening to yourself.
And I was like, I guess verbal abuse was more so because it was very much like intimidation and very much like scaring me to get me to behave. And you see how that crosses over into your life when you deal with romantic relationships or friends. I've had a lot of friends that put me down or that joke on me in a weird way or been in a relationship. Yeah, and then I'm understanding now you do that, bro, get the fuck out. Like, no, we're not doing it. But I can see why like that kind of got confusing for me because as a kid, that was the people that loved me would do that to me. Right. So then as an adult, when you're choosing the people that love you
and they ragging on you,
it's like, oh, this is familiar or whatever. But now I'm like that. I'm like, oh, I see the harm in.
I feel that, and a part of like people pleasing. I think we both have that. Point is that we always put everyone else over understanding people's situations and things like that, especially when they harm us.
But do you think we're too comfortable being uncomfortable? That's why we do that. We're too okay accepting things that make us uncomfortable. So we're like, okay, I'll take the uncomfortability, but I want to make sure you're good. Like that. So, but it's like, because it's like, I know I can handle it. So I'm going to take it. Handling it. So it's like, I'm going to do that's.
And I'm going to be real with y'all. Like, when it came to the people pleasing, it stemmed when I was young. I had a Muslim father who was very Muslim and had multiple kids and things like that. So his time was split up multiple ways. So like whenever I saw my dad and like I had that family dynamic with my mom and my dad, it made me feel like I need to keep this. So what can I do to keep this? I can be perfect. I can make it so he doesn't want to leave. I can make it so
you gave yourself way too much power. Like
too much power exactly. Like really I can be entertaining and things like that. And it's like growing up, especially like when I was going through that thing about like when I stopped acting, I was like, I don't know who I am without this because this is who I've been for so long. You know what I mean? This is like an entertainer, someone that's just trying to make you feel good, making jokes. I would even like I'm still working on this, like, but I'll even throw myself under the bus to make someone feel better.
To sit back. Because I thought I had it figured out by 24. No. So I thought like, okay, I did all my work, and then life happened and I fell off track spiritually, I'm not gonna lie. I fell off track just with how I feel about myself and things like that. And now I'm re-diving into that shadow work and I'm like, okay, this is life handed me these experiences, but the only thing, like I said, I can control is how I react or what I do. And so now I'm learning, okay, what caused those things? I can't be so codependent. I can't sit here and put as much as it's beautiful to think you can put your all into a person, and no, you need to feel good about yourself, and you got to understand when you're dealing with someone that hasn't done their own shadow work,
baby.
And I feel like you can recognize it more when you do it, because and that's one thing I've loved and my spiritual journey that I've realized is that some people like go on their whole, like, they start to realize things about the world and just like understand themselves more, and they kind of judge people for not understanding. Where I feel like when you do your shadow work properly, you understand that not everyone is on the same page as you. Mm-hmm. You can recognize someone that's like, okay, you haven't done the work that you have to do yet, and not really judge them for it, but more be like, okay, I get where you're coming from because you haven't done the work that I've done. Do you feel like you have a guard up with people who haven't done their shadow work, or you're more empathetic?
I think I'm more empathetic now. And I think when I first started my shadow work, I was just on it like, you guys need to be doing this too. Like, because I know, like, for sure, we all went through things. But, like, I would be like, I'm working on myself. You should work on yourself too. So that we don't, you know.
I'm protecting my energy. So I can we all went through that. Like,
Right. You know, like, I don't even know. But, like, that's a part of it. But then when you pass that, it's like, I'm at the point now where it's like, you know, I might make a suggestion or something like that, but you do you.
Yeah. I think you gotta sit with that.
I don't care. Yeah. Like, it's really like, you get to a point in your shadow work where when you know that you're doing well, is when you don't give a fuck about what someone's doing, what they're saying about you, how they see you. Like, it just
it's
really
like, I figured out my
matter.
shit, so it don't matter. Like, you might have to figure out your shit, but my shit's intact. Like,
Yeah.
I'm also able to definitely understand when people haven't done their work and be like,
I definitely see it, but do you give grace to that, or do you just move on from that? Are you just like, you can't meet me where I am right now?
I give grace. I think I give
yeah.
too much sometimes though.
But that's the thing. That's the thing with shadow work, you guys. Once you start understanding yourself, you really start to understand why other people do the shit that they do.
Do you think you become too understanding though?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. At a stage, you become way too understanding, and you start overstanding everything.
Do you
and
think
it's like,
my thing is, and what I feel like is an issue is I'll try to break it down for people, and they won't get it because they're not doing the work.
Right.
So if I'm sitting here like, no, you're doing this because of X, Y, and Z, and they're looking at me like, you're overanalyzing me right now, or you're like, that's been something I've gone through too. And some people can't face their truth because they're not there. And something as a spiritual person that I think we have to understand is not everyone is spiritual. Not everyone, like, and it sucks. But that's just what it is. Not everyone is tapped in that way where they even, to them, they're just living life. And that's just what it is, going day by day. And sometimes it's shitty, sometimes it's good. We overthink. So what aspects in your life do you think it affected the most? You doing shadow work, dating, work?
Definitely my abandonment issues. My people pleasing. Those are the two top things, abandonment and people pleasing, that I need to deal with. And also, like, seeing myself as a fully formed being within a relationship and not just a lapdog or a partner. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, not dimming myself for other people or dim myself for the relationship that I'm in. And I feel like I did that in past relationships, and sometimes you see people, like, you see everything that you put into somebody, and then you see the fruition of that.
I'm not gonna, and I mean, yeah, I get.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you see everything that you put into that.
And do you feel like you have that fear with other people too? You're like, I'm going to give all this to you, and you're going to grow. And
you're gonna leave
and I'm going to be drained.
You're going to leave me, you're going to grow, you're going to do better, you're going to do all the things that I taught you to fucking do.
For the next person.
And here I am. You know what I mean? And, like, I've been in relationships where someone's taken my personality.
Yeah. Energy leeches for sure.
And, like, we'll project that to the people as if that is them.
Or they came up with that on their own. I get that.
So, but the shadow work of that is, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
The shadow work of
because
that
no
is,
matter what, no one's gonna do you like you. No one's gonna be you like you. Like, and that's just what it is in general. No one can take anything. And even then, because you give, we might give all, but it's still breadcrumbs.
Right.
It's not you. You're who you are because of your experiences. You're who you are because of what you personally gone through before you even met these people that have leached off you. So all they're getting is the healed version. They don't know what it is to go through the mud and become the person you are. Yeah. They know what it is to meet someone like you and then leech off of that. It's a whole different experience. And you gotta commend, like, because I'm telling you why, because I've been there. Like, I'm looked and I'm like, I made that. I'm like, they love you because of what I showed you, but it's just like, but you never gonna do it like me. And you know what? Eventually that's gonna fade out. Because all you guys, that moment you had with me that I showed you, I'm me for life. You're you for life.
Period.
Like, that's just...
You know? So, like, in the end, shadow work is really for you. And it's a lifelong journey.
It's the most selfish and most beneficial thing you could do for yourself. Yeah,
it's to really see yourself, understand yourself, and accept yourself.
And no one can tell you about yourself because you've done that work.
And that's some real shit. Because can't nobody tell me about me.
Yeah.
I've sat here and cried in a corner with myself.
I've sat in dark rooms. I've literally sat in the dark and just bawled.
Can't tell me about
and bawled and bounced back, went to work the next day. No one's going to do that the way I could do that for myself. Diving into the why and the root is always going to be super important.
Yep. And I think that's the real, you guys.
That's the real. We got as real as we can get.
Let's send a couple of blessings.
Yes.
I have somebody I want to send a motherfucking blessing to today.
Go.
His name is motherfucking Joey Sanchez. Okay? And I want you guys to remember that name. AKA Oopsie Poopsie. Oopsie Poopsie. This person assaulted my friend, Kiki Black, at Kiki Black, last week. Kiki was on the Upper East Side. And if you guys don't know anything about New York, the Upper East Side has... Kiki was on the Upper East Side at this bar called Townhouse. You know, Kiki Black is Kiki Black. He's a dark-skinned man. Beautiful dark-skinned. Like,
we love
one of the
Kiki.
most...
Yeah. Kiki is art.
And he's very confident in himself. And he came out of the townhouse, was walking to the train or wherever he was walking to go home. And some random person, a.k.a. Oopsie Poopsie, Joey Sanchez, had the nerve to say,
"Yeah, nigger, and I'll give you a..."
We're going to at him and we're going to post. That's going to be posted to the page.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, Kiki said, okay, you need to watch what you say before, you know what I'm saying, before something happens to you. So then Joey Sanchez gets his big britches on and decides to call my friend the N-word.
"Yeah, nigger, and I'll give you a..."
And said, hit me.
"Yeah,
N-word."
nigger, and I'll give you a...
After he shoved my friend and got hit.
Yeah.
Okay? If you guys would like to see how this person looks, please go to That Guy Dinesh on Instagram. He's viral. It has gone viral at this point.
You were the slave, not me. But you're I'm white. Yeah, you're white. You think about that? You gotta live with that shit. What are you talking about? Watch your mother mouth. I'm not the one. My name is Joey Sanchez.
I love you, Kiki, and I'm so sorry you had to go through this, but
we support you.
Yeah, and you did what needed to be done.
You did what needed to be done. You were
and you
by
did
yourself.
that whole, every time we see this viral, we're like, oh, I would have done this, you did it. And I'm proud of you. I am so proud of you.
Yep. And I just want you guys to know, you guys think that things are far from you because we see it online or we see it on TV, but it is literally right there. Because Kiki was minding his business to where somebody verbally assaulted him, taunted him, harassed him, ripped out his locks.
And
Kiki
bragged about it.
Free-form, natural locks.
And bragged about it.
And they were ripped out and bragged about. To the extent, and you know what? I'm going to send a blessing to you, Joey Sanchez, because I really feel like you need help.
He's bald now. I ripped out all of his dreadlocks. I thought it was a wig, but those were his real dreadlocks. I ripped his fucking hair out. And I'm sorry, but I had to use the N-word. Oopsie. Boopsie boopsie. If you are one, you are one. Especially if you act like one. Cunt of a mother's cunt, hit me in my goddamn eye. I am beautiful. God damn it.
At the end of the day,
it's sick.
It was disgusting behavior.
Privileged behavior.
And the least that he got was a black eye. Because how dare you taunt someone, harass someone, assault someone. And then play victim. So, that's all I have to say to that. Bye-bye, Joey Sanchez.
Fuck Joey Sanchez. That's going to be the hashtag for this. But that
Fuck Joey Sanchez.
honestly,
All right, and that's it. We love you guys. Do you have any blessings that you need to say?
I'm good on that.
We're gonna leave it just at that.
This is an isolated blessing just for your fucking stupid ass.
Fuck you, Joey Sanchez. Bye. See you guys in the next one.
From Soul to Mars.
Like, follow, subscribe. Peace.